Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Coffee with Pastor. I'm Pastor John Woodin, and this is a ministry of Hollywood Faith Christian Center in beautiful Hollywood, Florida. We welcome you this morning. We're going to start in the book of Proverbs today, the Proverbs chapter 15. You know, the Proverbs is a wonderful place to study and read one proverb every day. There's 31 proverbs, and you can read one a day. You know, it's just great, just the wisdom of Solomon to write these. But he says, a soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. It's hard when somebody is not angry with you and they're screaming and they don't scream back at you, because the level begins to lower. And I know in my business, years ago when I was in business, if somebody was uptight, I would lower my voice and slow my cadence, and they would inevitably stop screaming, even though they may have been still angry about what was happening, that there was at least an ability to communicate. If both of us are screaming at each other, then nobody can understand what's happening. 1 John 5, and this is addressed to all the people who feel like they have to correct every little problem. The religious spirit is running rampant right now. You know, it's funny because we're in the last days, but the religious spirit is running rampant that everybody's got to tell everybody what's wrong with them. If anyone sees his brother sinning, this is in 1 John 5, a sin which does not lead to death, he will ask and he will give him life for those who commit sin not leading to death. So some things just don't need to be corrected today. You don't need to be the ultimate arbiter of what is and what is not Christian. And that's where we get into trouble. The key is love. That's the key. If I approach somebody with love and I embrace them regardless of what their situation might be, they're more apt to listen to me and come to that understanding versus me telling them and wagging a finger of what they need to do to fix their life. A new commandment, Jesus said, I give you, that you love one another as I have loved you, that you also love one another. By this all will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another. It's the way we treat each other. It's the way we speak to our spouses, that we don't give a sharp response in front of other people, so that people are interested in somebody who isn't like them. If you're like them and you act like they do, what's the change? Why should I change? Beloved, let us love one another, for love is of God. And everyone who loves is born of God and knows God. He who does not love does not know God, for God is love. Now, of course, that's out of 1 John 4. But I want to really focus in on the nature of love, because 1 Corinthians 13, Paul writes this out of the middle of the Ephesian revival. He's in the middle of a tremendous revival. Prayer cloths are going out from his body and are healing people. Sorcerers are coming out with their spell books and burning them in the middle of the city. I mean, there's a great widespread revival. But Paul writes this from the revival to the church at Corinth. Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels, but have not love, I have become a sounding brass or a clanging cymbal. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith, though I could remove mountains, but I have not love, I am nothing. Now, wow, it's like, wow, what are you saying, Paul? You're saying that if I don't have the love of Christ, if the people don't know that I love them, they're not going to receive, no matter how many prophetic words I give, no matter how I may be raising the dead, but if they know that I don't care about them, they're not going to be very interested in my Jesus. So, and though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned, but have not love, it profits me nothing. Love suffers long and is kind. Love does not envy. Love does not parade itself, is not puffed up, does not behave rudely, does not seek its own, is not provoked, thinks no evil, does not rejoice in iniquity, but rejoices in the truth, bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never fails. Now, I love this. I just love that narrative by Paul. And it's funny because I saw on Facebook a picture of a fairly popular minister in the world, and and it said, "I'm beautiful, I'm rich, I have everything, blah blah blah," and then I had a picture of the Apostle Paul, and it just said "wretched." Paul perceived himself to be wretched, to see what it looked like in light of Christ, and he says, "I'm nothing. I'm nothing." In Mark chapter 9, we see that he says, "Teacher, we saw someone who does not follow us casting out demons in your name, and we forbade him because he does not follow us." And Jesus said this, "Do not forbid him, for no one who works a miracle in my name can soon afterwards speak evil of me. For he who is not against us is on our side." Wow. He's on our side. So I guess we have to be, as the body of Christ, we have to be a little bit accepting of even the people whose doctrine may be a little bit different than ours, or maybe a lot different. But that's okay as long as they love Jesus, and they're working in his name. It's okay. In Matthew 20, it says this, and when the 10 heard it, this was when John and James approached Jesus about being on his left hand and his right hand, they were greatly displeased with the two brothers, but Jesus called them to himself and said, "You know that the rulers of the unsaved, the Gentiles, lord it over them, and those who are great exercise authority over them. Yet it shall not be so among you. But whoever desires to become great among you, let him be your servant. And whoever desires to be first among you, let him be your slave. Just as the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life a ransom for many." James says this, we're going to end here. It says, James, "Therefore submit to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Draw near to God, and he will draw near to you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded. Lament and mourn and weep. Let your laughter be turned to mourning and your joy to gloom. Humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, and he will lift you up." God bless you guys. See you again next time.